Welcome to this video lesson on photosynthesis, a very important process in biology. So today we'll be looking at photosynthesis, its definition, the importance to plants and other organisms, as well as the process of photosynthesis. Think for a moment. What are some of the differences between animals and plants? Well, among those myriad of differences that you can think of is the fact that plants normally have a green color. And why is this? Now, plants are green because of a special pigment called chlorophyll. Chlorophyll gives plants their green color, but it also serves another purpose, which is more important than just giving plants color. It is to trap sunlight so that plants can carry out the very important process of photosynthesis. Chlorophyll traps sunlight so that plants can get energy to carry out photosynthesis. So what really is photosynthesis? Let's look now at the definition for photosynthesis. By definition, photosynthesis is a process by which a plant uses carbon dioxide from the air, water from the ground, and energy from the sunlight to produce its own food and oxygen. Basically, raw materials are gathered, they are brought through a process, and then we have end products in the process of photosynthesis. So, photosynthesis in its simplest definition is a process by which plants use the raw materials to make their own food. The process by which plants make their own food. This brings us to the importance of photosynthesis. Now, photosynthesis is obviously important to the plant because the plant needs to make their own food. They are not able to consume in other ways that animals would, so they need to make their own food. And photosynthesis is important to all other organisms because it is the process by which food is created in the initial stages, and then by other means of nutrition it is transferred to other organisms. So herbivore would eat the plant, and then the herbivore is eaten by a carnivore, and that's how food is transferred initially from plants to all other organisms. So plants are important because they produce food for all organisms, and they produce food by photosynthesis. So this is the importance of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is a process, and it involves raw materials, as we mentioned before, and products. Just like making a bottle of juice, you need raw materials such as sugar and the fruits and water to make that juice, and the end product would be the juice. Photosynthesis has raw materials and end products. From the definition, we realize that it gathers carbon dioxide and it also gathers water, and it uses sunlight to produce the energy to carry out the process which gives us the end products. So we can fill in this formula by saying that photosynthesis involves the use of water and carbon dioxide to carry out the process of photosynthesis along with sunlight, which gives us the end products. From this formula on screen, we can see that on the left there are different substances, while on the right there are other substances. So on the left of this formula we have all the raw materials, and on the right we have all the products. So in the end, photosynthesis yields glucose and oxygen. Carbon dioxide is a raw material, water is a raw material. In the presence of sunlight, these are combined to give us glucose and oxygen. So the raw materials are water, carbon dioxide, and sunlight, which is absorbed by chlorophyll, and it gives us glucose and oxygen. It is important to note that glucose is the main product that plants desire, and this is the food that plants need, glucose. Oxygen is derived by the chemical process, but it is not an intended product. Plants don't necessarily desire to create oxygen, but it is created in the process. Oxygen is a byproduct of photosynthesis because it was created in the process, but it was not an intended product of photosynthesis. So, we have learned that photosynthesis is a process by which plants create their own food, and they use water, carbon dioxide, in the presence of sunlight to produce glucose and oxygen. Photosynthesis is very important because it produces food for plants and all organisms on Earth. Thank you.